Our House is a new horror film that has appeared on Netflix. I think it's a Netflix original one. It's about an hour and a half long, and it centres around a young family with 3 children. Oldest one is at university, and he's working on a wireless charging electricity project with his friends. And then there's a teenage son and a younger girl, maybe between the ages of like 5 and 10, I'm guessing. At the start of the film, the parents die at the same time that the older son is working on an experiment at university. The two things aren't necessarily linked, but the middle child feels that the older son should have spent less time on the project and more time at home, and that would have meant that the parents wouldn't have been in this accident. But that's somewhat to the side. It ends up with the older son having to look after the 2 younger siblings due to the death of the parents, and they're still living in the house, and he's still working on this wireless electricity project. What happens is that while he's working on the project at home, it creates some sort of change in the fields in the house and opens up a doorway to another dimension or another world where spirits start coming through. The children believe that they are the spirits of their parents, and as you can expect, it turns out they're not. They're malevolent spirits who want to do something to humans. Doesn't matter what, they're just trying to grab them and take them. This is a sort of good diversion of a film for an hour and a half. It's not brilliant, but it's not terrible. It's entertaining, and it's got a nice creepy atmosphere. It's shot in a very creepy manner. It's got a good creepy colour palette, and the sound and the music is all sort of on point when it comes to that. It's probably more sort of something you'd watch on a rainy, wet afternoon as opposed to sit down to be thrilled watching it on a Saturday evening. The sort of the visualisation of the ghosts I liked. They're sort of a black mist or a black smoke with a sort of general human shape but no real facial details. That's good. The acting is good throughout, and the family feels like a real family who react in a sort of relatively normal way to their parents dying. I mean, the kids seem to take it particularly well, but I think there's meant to be an element of time having passed. But you know, you didn't feel that there was any sort of overacting going on or weird choices with how people were developing the relationships in the family, because there is an outburst halfway through when the middle child sort of lets out his feelings towards the older child, and you think, okay, yeah, fair enough, that's probably what would happen in real life. Is it worth watching? Yeah, it is. It's not terrible, it's not great, it's well made, it's a good idea. The special effects and the level of science in it are fine. They do the right thing by just giving you just enough science to try and pin something together in your own imagination, but without explaining it too deeply. The actual sort of technology they use is in essence a record player with a triangle with some LEDs on it stuck on top spinning round, which looks suitably science fiction-y. Even though it's a really simple prop, it just works really well. And there's a little sort of side plot with a weird neighbour who's also getting affected by the experiments. I think that's handled quite well, and it adds a new element to it. Yeah, it's the only bad thing is it's probably a bit like this video, it's got an ending that goes on too long, but you know, you can forgive it that. I just wondered what was meant to be happening, because the story finished, you had a conclusion, you see the family make a decision as to what to do after the events in the house, and then it just goes on for maybe 5 minutes too long. But beyond that, absolutely fine. Our House, worth watching.